Once upon a time, in the early 1900s, in Jamestown, North Carolina, there was a beautiful young woman named Lydia, who lived with her mother in a small house on the outskirts of town. Lydia spent her days helping her mother tend to the small vegetable garden and sewing dresses for the local ladies. Though their life was simple, Lydia yearned for the adventure and romance beyond the confines of their quiet town. One night, Lydia told her mother that she was going to a dance with her boyfriend, who would soon arrive in his car. Her mother frowned with concern. "Be careful, dear, and don't stay out too late." Lydia nodded, and her eyes sparkled with excitement as she donned her best dress, a pale blue frock with delicate lace trim that she had sewn herself. As she stepped out into the warm summer evening, the scent of honeysuckle filled the air. Lydia's mother knew her daughter would not stay out too late, but tragically, that would be the last time she would see her daughter alive. The dance hall was abuzz with the sounds of music and laughter when Lydia arrived. Her boyfriend looked at her with a shy smile and led her onto the crowded dance floor. They danced all night, and it was the best time that Lydia and her boyfriend had ever had. Once the dance was over, Lydia and her boyfriend began driving back home. On their way back, and in the afterglow of the evening, Lydia wished to never forget this night. As Lydia's boyfriend reached over to share a kiss with her, he took his eyes off the road for a moment. Suddenly, her boyfriend saw that he was driving too near the curve at the local bridge. Lydia's heart leaped into her throat as her boyfriend swerved sharply, trying to gain control of his car. The tires screeched against the gravel road, and Lydia felt the world spin around her as the car careened off the curve. Time seemed to slow as they plummeled down the steep embankment. Lydia's scream caught in her throat, her fingers digging into the seat. The last thing she remembered was the sickening crunch of metal and the sharp pain that exploded through her body before everything went black. When Lydia opened her eyes, she found herself standing on the road, looking down at the wreckage below. Confusion washed over Lydia as she saw her and her boyfriend's dead bodies in the car. Lydia could not believe it. She saw herself dead in the car accident. Panic gripped Lydia as the reality of her situation sank in. She tried to scream, but no sound came out. She felt a new sensation, something she had never felt before. Her body had changed. Her ghostly form felt weightless, disconnected from the physical world she once knew. Tears streamed down her face as she watched helplessly, unable to do anything but observe the grim scene below. In the distance, she heard the wail of sirens approaching. Lydia's thoughts raced to her mother, still waiting at home, unaware of the tragedy that had unfolded. How could she bear the news? The guilt of her last carefree moments at the dance consumed Lydia, knowing now she'd never return home as promised. As the emergency vehicles arrived, their flashing lights illuminating the crash site, Lydia felt a strange pull. Lydia was back at the bridge, where she would remain trapped forever. As for her mother, she was waiting for her daughter to come home when she heard a knock at the door. Her heart raced with anticipation, expecting to see Lydia's smiley face. But as she opened the door, she was met with the grim expression of two police officers. Their hats were held respectfully in their hands as they delivered the terrible news. "Ma'am, we regret to inform you." Words faded into a dull roar as the devastating news washed over her. She collapsed to her knees, her anguished cries echoing through the small house. Days turned to weeks, and weeks to months. Lydia's mother was a shell of her former self, going through the motions of life without truly living. The garden withered, dresses lay half-finished, a constant reminder of her daughter's absence. Meanwhile, Lydia's spirit lingered at the bridge, trapped between worlds. She watched as flowers and mementos appeared at the crash site, placed by grieving friends and family. She longed to comfort them, let them know that she would always be watching them. Lydia's spirit now haunts the bridge in Jamestown, North Carolina, waiting for people to drive by and pick her up and take her back home. For decades, Lydia's ghostly form became a local legend. Whispers of a beautiful young woman in a pale blue dress, thumbs outstretched, spread through Jamestown. Some nights, unsuspecting drivers would spot her ethereal figure by the roadside, her eyes pleading for a ride home. Those who stopped, moved by compassion, would find their passenger vanishing into thin air as they approached her mother's old house. The bridge where Lydia died became known as Lydia's Bridge. Among the local townsfolk, teenagers dared each other to drive to the bridge at midnight, hoping for a glimpse of the spectral hitchhiker. Some claimed to have seen her. While others dismissed the tale as mere superstition. As the years passed, Lydia's mother eventually found some measure of peace. She never truly recovered from the loss, but she channeled her grief into preserving Lydia's memory. She transformed their small home into a memorial of sorts, displaying Lydia's dresses and photographs. The garden, once neglected, bloomed again with vibrant flowers. A living tribute to her daughter's spirit. As more years passed, strangers would continue to drive to her home, claiming to have her daughter in their car. Lydia's mother would inform them, "My daughter? But that's impossible. Lydia passed away years ago." The confusion in her eyes would give way to a flicker of hope, quickly extinguished by the harsh reality that she had lived with for so long. The drivers, bewildered, would insist they had just given a ride to a young woman matching Lydia's description. They described her as wearing a pale blue dress with delicate trim, and the drivers would mention the way Lydia spoke of her mother waiting at home. When they turned to point out their passenger, the back seat would be empty.
What?
Despite the confusion caused by these strange claims, Lydia's mother continued to live her life as best she could, finding solace in her memories, the knowledge that her daughter's spirit still roams the earth in some way. Lydia's spirit haunts the bridge. Her spirit is still roaming that very bridge today, looking at her crash site and forever hitchhiking, waiting for Morris to drive by and pick her up so she can finally go back home. So, if you ever want to go to Jamestown, North Carolina, and want to go to Lydia's bridge to see her, I have to be very careful of driving around the bridge, especially at night, because you may never know. You may encounter a woman in a pale blue dress with delicate trim, hitchhiking and right back to her home to this very day.